Oh, you gotta be fuck. Hey guys, Nightfall here, and I swear every time I go to do one of these quality check videos, I'm missing an attachment for something. Usually it's the shotgun or marksman rifle classes since I never use those, but I guess it helps because I need to get those up at some point. So I was thinking, what attachment to do next? And then I came across the quick mag, which seems innocent enough, and there's no downside. Or so they say. Also, you unlock it pretty early on, but could using a quick mag actually do more harm than good? That's what I'm here to find out. It sounds like it's too good to be true, considering all the other attachments I've tested so far and the things I've found, which if you haven't seen those videos, you might want to check them out. And I've made it super easy as I put all of these into a playlist, so you can just watch them all start to finish, see for yourself everything that I find, and if you like the content, then hey, maybe subscribe. But let me explain the tests we're going to be running, because the quick mag doesn't do a whole lot, and on a few weapons doesn't even increase mag size, which I did check, by the way, and it's not included in this video because there's really no funny business going on with the mag sizes, and you guys can check all that yourself. However, a lot of other mags do things like reduce your ADS speed or reduce your movement speed, and the quick mag doesn't do any of that. It just gives and gives. So in addition to testing the reload speed of the quick mag, I'm also going to be testing the ADS and movement speeds as well. And before we jump into our first test, I want to remind everyone that I'll be posting Discord mod apps later this week. So if you're someone who's interested in being one of our mods in our Discord and haven't joined yet, you might want to hop to it. For anyone that's a new viewer watching any of these tests, let me do a quick explanation as to how I do most of them, specifically the 3 that we're going to be doing today. For the ADS speed test, I simply take the time the white reticle disappears, and that's when the timer starts. And it stops when the gun is full ADS, which I determine by sheer visuals and frames in the editing software. Speaking of editing software, returning viewers will be happy to know that allocating more virtual memory than the 4 gigabytes my 32 gigabyte system had allocated to begin with fixed the crashing errors I had when saving and exporting videos. But anyway, the reload speed test is very similar in that the time starts when the white reticle disappears and ends when it comes back. The movement speed one is just a good old-fashioned race to the finish, where I start the time when I start moving and stop once I hit the wall at the other end of the range, all determined by teeny tiny frames while editing. So while these are not always an exact science, it's pretty close and can, for the most part, tell us what we need to know. Make sure you stick around to the end to hear my final thoughts on this attachment and if it's worth a slot on any of your guns. Now let's get into the firing range, run some tests on our first weapon, the ACR. So just preemptively, in all of these, we should see 0 change in ADS speed, which is exactly what we see here. So this is an easy pass right from the start. Then we take a look at reload speed, and this one's very close. And as I've said many times before, and will probably say a dozen more times before this video is over, it's in the acceptable range. So we're going to give this one a pass as well. And then our final ACR test, movement speed test. And no change here either, so off to a good start with this one. Let's see how it holds up on our SMG class. Representing that SMG class is our MP7, and we can see that the ADS speed remains unchanged. So again, another pass. Then onto the reload test, we see a small variance which falls within our acceptable range, which reminds me, we never really defined what is within an acceptable range. And I guess it varies from weapon to weapon and really by situation. So I still won't put an exact number or definition to it, but if one is outside of that range, trust me, we'll know. But let's see how the movement speed is affected on the MP7. And it looks like it wasn't at all, so we are 2 for 2 and all passes throughout 2 weapon classes. Up next, we have the shotgun class, which is the reason making this video took an extra half an hour or so that I could unlock the quick mag for this thing. But hey, it's all in the name of science, if you can call this science. And for this test, we're using the automatic shotgun because that's the only one that can use mags. And we can see that the ADS speed is the exact same with and without our quick mag, as it should be, so we'll pass on that one. And then next up, we have our reload speed test, and surprisingly, this one's dead on, and we don't get too many of these around here, so take the win, and this one's also a pass. Now for our movement test, and setting them on the 100-meter dash. unchanged. Way to go, XDefiant, 3 for 3. We might be making history here with this one. But the back half of these is where we tend to find a lot of these weird, quirky things. So let's knock on some wood and move on to the LMG class. And once more, LMG follows the same trend with ADS speed being the same as without any mag on it. So this one is going to be a pass as well. And next up, we're going to look at our reload speed test, which always feels like it takes ages for this damn thing to reload. But in the end, it still passes our test here, coming out with a very close to expected result. And then finally, our movement speed test. Tells us that there is absolutely no change here as well. So this one passes, and the LMG passes all 3 tests with flying colors. Now on to the Marksman rifles. ADS speed test on our MK20 shows 0 change at all. So this one is another pass, and then reload speed test, another one that we got super close on, and obviously a pass here as well. And a lot of these we're noticing that the reload time is usually slightly quicker than our expected result, which again, could just be my error. You may actually be getting 16-17% increase with some of these. Then on to our final test for the MK20, our movement test. And no change at all. So another pass, and we can safely say this one does as it is intended to do on all of the weapon classes we've tested so far. We still have the sniper rifle, and trust me, XDefiant never disappoints. So for this test, I was finally able to use my L115 because I already had the quick mag on it, and the ADS speed we find out here is the exact same, but the reload speed is good too. I'm just pulling your leg. Did you really think XDefiant would have an attachment fail any of these tests? So anyway, that about wraps.
Meanwhile.
Oh no! Oh no!
No, it can't be. And it can't be because it isn't. Fooled you twice. This one's unchanged too, and we finally have an attachment that seemingly does what it says. Nothing more, nothing less. Big day for XDefiant. Congrats to them for making an attachment that works properly and completely passes our quality check. But now let's talk about, is this a good attachment? And let's be completely honest with ourselves here. They know this attachment isn't the best, and it's not game changing for most weapons, hence why there is no downside to using it. I was pleasantly surprised to find that there was no hidden ADS slowdown or anything like that. But I hardly ever use this attachment, and to be completely transparent, the only time I've used it is when I was still unlocking the other mags for weapons. But this could 100% come in handy on, say, an LMG build where you definitely just don't need that reloading time to take longer than a McDonald's drive-thru at 8 in the morning. Also, it could work on some SMGs. This could be good because usually with SMGs, you're just running and gunning, and you empty that clip so fast that you just need more bullets ASAP. Other than that, I just don't see a use for this one. But if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. Do you use this attachment frequently? If so, on what builds? And if you made it this far in the video, comment McRiddle, as well as what attachment you want me to quality check next, and I'll catch you all in the next upload.